Today we're going to learn how to make your own printable cards. This is going to be a good tool for you to have if you want to make something that's just created more in a custom way for a special someone or for a special gift or occasion. Also, it is great to help you save money if you want to make your own cards instead of buying them. And if you want to make cards to sell, this will be a great technique for you to learn. So today we're going to learn how to make a foldable card. And so I'm going to show you basically how I do it. I'm going to run through it pretty quickly to try and keep the video down time-wise. And if you have any questions or you feel like I didn't cover something thoroughly, just leave a comment below and I will go ahead and do my best to cover it for you and explain it. So we're going to jump right in. I'm already in PowerPoint, so I'm going to go ahead and just click on a new file here. So you're in PowerPoint, you're going to go to presentation, and then we are going to resize our paper. So you're going to go to your design tab, you're going to go to slide size, custom slide size. Now before we decide which orientation we want, that really depends on what kind of card you're going to make. So if you're going to make a flat card, it really doesn't matter then, I guess, what orientation you have because the card's not going to be that big. However, if you are going to make a foldable card like we are going to make today, then you need to decide whether you want the fold to be on the top or you want the fold to be on the side, because that will depend on whether we're going to do a portrait or a landscape. So our fold will be on the top, so that means we're going to go with the portrait orientation. So we're going to put in our numbers 8.5, 11, and ensure fit. Then I just clear this off. Alrighty, so usually cards are sized about 5 by 7, and so what we're going to do is we are going to make ours 5 by 10 because when we fold it over, it's going to make it a 5 by 7. So we're going to start off with a 5 by 10 shape. So we're going to go to our Insert tab. We're going to go to our shapes, and we're going to use the rectangle one here. And just grab the corner and just drag it down, and it automatically populates here the dimensions. If it does not automatically populate, for some reason it doesn't always do it for me, then you can right click on the shape and go down to size and position. So it's already up here, we're just going to go with this one. So again, we want our dimensions to be 10 by 7. Alrighty, so now we have this sized to what we want. I'm going to throw my guidelines on right up here. This helps me measure everything and keep it centered, which is what you want. You want this to be centered on the page, so it helps you with your design tabs later on. So now that we have my guides up, those will stay up. And we're going to change the inside color. So we're going to go up to our shape fill and we're going to take this to white. Now there's a few different techniques we can do here. I will show you 3 of them very quickly. This one, the reason why I'm going to show this to you, I'll explain a little bit more in detail as we show the different styles, but the outline of the shape is going to be where we cut. So if you want a white card, let me show you. Okay, so this one here has just a white edge, a plain white edge, which is, for this design, it looks really good. So if that is what you want, then you don't want a solid line here. The solid line, chances are when you go to cut it out, it will show up. So what I have done, which has really helped, is I make the outline small and faded. So if you go down to the weight here, I'm just going to go down to more lines. That pulls up my formatting shape. Again, you can reach that by right-clicking on your shape, going down to Format Shape. We're going to take it to the this shape right here, the round dots, and then I'm going to fade it out. So we're going to do a 75 transparency-ish. Okay, you see how that's just barely showing up there, but it's enough to see. And if you were to leave a little bit on there after you cut it out, it's not going to be as noticeable as a solid line. So that's one way to do it. Another thing I usually would add when I'm selling these printables is I would add a line here to show you where the fold is. And so you just draw a shape, a line shape all the way across, and then I send this to the back so you don't see it on the card, but you can kind of see this is where you fold it at. That's something that I do. We don't really need to change the color on this because it'll be cut off. You won't even see this, but it's just there. And that is basically what we do for the outline for this particular design. So let's throw up our graphics to kind of show you, so I can show you the other two designs for the outline, so you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So I throw in some graphics. You can buy graphics on Etsy. You can buy Creative Fabrica. Creative Fabrica is one of my favorite places to go. There's just so much to pick from, and it's a one set price for me. I do a subscription, so it's perfect for me. I love it. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw in a couple different designs here. And let me grab in a few more. I love this particular set. It's just so pretty. It has, I saw it and I just had to have it. So we're going to just grab, I think that was all I grabbed actually. I think that's all we used. So we're going to size this down, and I think we're going to size my fox down a little bit too. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I got to get to my fox. Probably depending on if you want some text or not, will depend on whether or not this, how big your designs are. So I'm going to bring this down. Let me go ahead and throw this behind. And then we're going to pop this up in here. So it's going to be something like this. You can kind of play around with your design, see what looks good for you. I think we're going to bring this down just a little bit. So when I am doing something like this and I duplicate it on the other side, I'm going to show you instead of, so you select your design element and then you're going to hold the control button down, then the C button, and then the V button, and that duplicates, copies and duplicates whatever you're working on. Now I could wiggle this around and do a bunch of things to try and get it exactly center, but that ends up never really being accurate. So instead of moving this around, I just go straight up to my rotate tab right here and just flip it horizontally. You know, it's exactly the same dimensions as the other one, is just flipped. So using my guide, I just eyeball it or wait till it's kind of center where the other one was, and we're done with that design. What I am going to do is I'm going to put these in the back. We're going to send this backwards, and we're going to send this one backwards. Okay. And if you want, let's see, I'm going to, there we go. You can add a text up here. Again, this is just something that, you know, depends on what you're doing, but we're going to say, thinking of you. Okay, so we're going to select which tab, or sorry, let's see here. Okay, so we're just going to grab a color, and I'm going to center the text, and I'm just going to pump up the font size. So you can just kind of play with it. I think that might be a little too, I think that's just a little too squished together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group the elements here together. I'm going to squish them down just a little bit, not too much. And see what I did is I grabbed my line, so I don't want that. I have to ungroup that. Okay, so I can put that back. All right, so now we're just going to shift this back down. All right, so that needs to go to the back. Okay, so this card is done. This card is basically pretty close to what it looked like over here. So this is just something fun to do. I like the white border, so this is probably a card I would use. However, there are some other options for you, and I want to show you very quickly just how to change that up. So if you were to, instead of using this light border, so if you actually want a border around your card, I'm going to show you how to do that. So you go up to your shape outline, you're going to go to your weight. Right now it is on a dotted, let's see here, we have the dotted line, so we're going to make it a solid line, and then we're going to change the weight of it, or the width. You can do that here, you can do that up here in the outline, whichever you want. So we're going to, this is a little easier to do it here. I'm going to go to the 6 width, and I like this color here. I think this looks good. I think it's subtle enough. But the only problem is that we do not have a border that runs across the middle. So that's something that you do want. You want a middle border, because when you go to fold this, you're going to have only a border on the sides and the bottom, and I just feel like it doesn't look right. You want a border on the top. So same thing I did here for this here, this little line. We're going to actually just use it instead of grabbing another line. What you do is you just bring a line shape across, and then you're going to make it the exact same width as, or weight as your rest of your border, and then you're going to change the color to what you have going on here. Now, I usually bring it right up to the middle line, but not on the middle line. Reason being is that if you center this and then you fold it, you're going to have half of the weight of a border, and it's going to look really, really tacky. So you'll have a 6 weight here and like a 3 weight up here, and it just won't look great. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want a full border. So I bring it just under the fold line, and then what I do is I duplicate this line and I bring it on the other side just up to the fold, leaving just a little bit of a white line here. That way, when you do fold it, you're going to have a full border on the back side, a full border on the front side for the top. And it looks really good, and this white line basically is your fold line. So you really don't even need a line here showing you to fold here. So that's one way. And then the last way I'm going to show you is I usually just throw in another shape here, and we're going to fill, oops, sorry, I'm on the text, not the shape. So you take the shape fill and the shape outline, and then you send it backwards behind all your fonts. There you go. And there's your other card. So this is a really pretty design as well. And again, you have your fold line right here. You really don't need to explain that. You still have a cut line here, so they can see where the back goes. The back will stay white, so you're not printing so much ink, and you have a very pretty design in the front. So very, very quick way to show you. You can change up your card designs. You can have a border, you can have a full color card, or you can have a white card with just some pretty graphics and text. So either way, it is up to you what you want. You can also, if you're selling this on Etsy, you can put your shop name on the side with a text box. You can even put some descriptions like this is the front of the card, back of the card, fold here, anything like that, but it's really pretty self-explanatory, I think. So hopefully you found that this was really easy to do and gave you some ideas on how to make your own. And if you have any questions, please, please, please add them to the comment, or if you have something else you'd like to learn on how to do it in PowerPoint, let me know. And if you want to see some more ideas, then go ahead and hit subscribe, and when I have some new videos up, you'll get to learn something new, hopefully. So until then, I will see you in the next video.